Hello, Sonor family. Jules here. Look, I don't have all my intros and outros and all that stuff, so this is kind of abrupt, straight to my face with no warning to prep or anything. Um, anyway, got I did an interview with a guy recently, and he wanted to look at it and give me a stamp of approval and all that, and I really wasn't sure that it was going to be a go. He's asked for a couple of edits, and I'm out of town, still out of town, and everything I need to do the work is still back home. So it's going to be this evening before I can get the edits done, send him the link, and then hopefully he'll it won't take him long to take a look at it and give me an approval on the edits. You are going to get to see this, and I think it's going to be very interesting to a lot of folks here. Um, had a 3 hour, well, almost a 3 hour conversation with a gentleman the other day, and I've got to go back and edit all that, and that's going to be an undertaking, and probably going to break that up into segments. We're probably going to have one that's more focused on the Sonor side of things and the current gigs, and then maybe have a few extras come out throughout the week after that comes out, and talk about some other topics. There were some things of interest. I mean, like just talking about the Beatles and I've never been a big Beatles fan, but he's actually inspired me to go really do a deep dive, which I've never done. And I'm not sure if that's really material that's going to be of interest or not. But as I go through and whittle out all the extraneous parts and kind of get down to the crux of the different conversations, I'll figure out what it is that I think the Sonar community might be interested in hearing, and put that stuff out there piece by piece. It'll probably be a couple of segments. Um, Other than that, uh, I'm feeling great. Ears are not 100%, but they're close enough. And so this weekend, that snare drum, that artist bronze snare drum, is finally coming out of the box and coming out of the plastic bag. Haven't had it out of the plastic bag yet. And all I've done is taken some pictures of it through the bag. So my fingerprints are still not on that drum, yeah, which I like that idea. Um, but it's time to first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check the tuning, because they use the oscilloscope or they use a tuner now or whatever they're using. They're using something over there, but they send the drums out tuned. And logic dictates that, through the different climates and all that, it probably isn't perfectly in tune at this point, but it would be interesting to see what the tunings are. I've been told that they're tuned to F. Now, I don't know if that is a combination of the bottom and top head together, or if the top head's tuned to F or what. Um, but the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find out what they're tuned to and remove the original heads. I never played the original heads, put aftermarkets on there, and tune it to original. So anytime I try a different batter, I'm going to tune it to original for the first test. Then I'm going to go through a couple of other tunings that I have liked so far. And so we'll hear what this drum sounds like with different heads. Probably try just a basic coated ambassador on top and ambassador on the bottom. And then I've got a boatload of, I mean, seriously, probably 15 different unused Evans batters, and I very well may work my way through those, even if it's one or two a week. Um, this is pretty exciting. I'm going to have a lot of fun with this, and obviously, if you've been paying attention, I'm going to do a product review for this snare drum. Still hoping to get some new input from Tal Bergman. Our friend Arthur Mambuka ordered one, and it should be in any time now if he hasn't gotten it already. He's going to do an unboxing video, and so we're going to try to get some participation from him or include some of his video in my product review. So anybody that's got one of these snare drums, if you're interested in being part of that, email me at drumandstage@gmail.com. And anyways, uh, so I've got one video, one Sonor talk just about ready to go. Got one that hasn't started post production yet. Going to be quite lengthy. And then I've got several, probably maybe five artists that I'm working with trying to hammer out scheduling issues. So we'll see how that all shakes out. And luckily, these guys are busy. That's a good thing. When guys aren't working, they're not making money. Luckily, these guys are busy, and it just makes it more fun when you finally do. You don't take things for granted. If everything I tried to do just worked flawlessly, then it really wouldn't mean anything. But it's and really the fact that these guys are so busy and yet they're still willing to carve out, 90 or 120 minutes or whatever to sit here and talk to me for content for us, I think it's pretty awesome. And I don't take that lightly. I'm very appreciative of all the people that have been a part of what we're doing. I appreciate everybody that watches the channel, even if you don't comment or whatever. I appreciate everybody that subscribed. We're getting really close to that 1,000 subscribers. I'm just wildly curious of what the monetization looks like. And of course, the monetization is going to depend too on me getting some really good interviews lined up. Man, if I was monetized for the Todd Zuckerman interview, back in January, I probably could have gone and bought a steak dinner off of that. We're over 40,000 views on that now. Gavin Harrison's over 20,000. And for a channel that just 3 months ago was 25 subscribers, I think that's pretty phenomenal. And so anyway, looking to really keep things going. Long run, want to get Steve Smith. Got some feelers out to try to get in touch with him. Kind of want to hit that 1,000 mark, that 1,000 subscriber mark first. Really would like to get that pretty quickly because it would help. And what I'm planning to do, I'm not gonna not have a day job because I'm gonna try to live off of the trickle money that comes in from the monetization because I know it's not going to be much. And then also just being Sonor specific really narrows down the potential. If it was a wide open channel for everything drums, that would appeal to all sorts of people. If I had Paiste cymbals, and all this different stuff, we're doing product reviews or whatever. But being so specialized really narrows the scope of the potential subscribers. So if you are watching and haven't subscribed, please do so. And anyway, got a lot of cool things going on. I was going to tell you is that the monetization, what I'm going to do with that money is I'm going to use it to buy new products. So as new things come out, that'll help facilitate the purchase of that. Do a product review on it. Going to try to go in deep. We're going to do things a little different, like with the Artist Bronze snare drum. Typically when the retailers do their product reviews, they do several different tunings, and they play with a nice drum set and all that stuff. And we're going to go beyond that. We're going to, they're also in a controlled environment. So my product reviews on snare drums, for instance, I'm going to take these around to different venues, indoor and outdoor. So you're going to see this drum played by multiple players, multiple genres of music and settings, and in different tunings and different heads and all that. So it's going to be a lot more in depth. And then I really want to do a box opening on a compressor. And there are compressor videos left and right everywhere. Not to the degree that I want to do them, like with the Artist Bronze. But another thing about the compressors that I think is worth mentioning, I use a tune bot. And the thing about the tune bot is it's, if you haven't used one, there's a couple of ways you can use it. You can either go down between, or from one lug to the next and shoot for a specific tuning, or you can play the head and find the best sound or pitch or whatever for your drum, and then you you tap on a button, and then you go around from lug to lug, and it tells you if you're sharp or flat for the main tuning. So you actually get the head in perfect tuning with itself, and that is an extremely sensitive and accurate mode of tuning the drum, and that'll get you very, very tight all the way around within certain tolerances. And when I had my Gretsch stuff and would tune that way, a lot of times I had to, 1.5 hertz is a respectable accuracy, but from one lug to the next, there would be a difference of up to 1.5 hertz. And with Sonor drums, it's very doable to get everything within half a hertz. And if you've ever used a tune bot, you understand what I'm saying and the significance of that. So when I put a fresh head on a compressor, um, it tuned up very, very accurately. Okay. So, you've got a drum that's got the OSM, which is the optimal shell measurement, the undersized shell. You've got the 2.3 millimeter hoops, the top end uh, lugs, and the throw off they've been using on the upper end for years. So you've got a really professional drum, but what you don't see in other people's reviews is the fact that it tunes up as accurately as it does. And there's only one way a drum can tune up that accurately, and that is for that shell to be very true, very round, the bearing edges be very properly executed. If you've got something that's not in round, um, there's no way that you're going to have accuracy around all the tension rods. The head's not going to conform just right, so you're going to have some areas, and I've had a lot of Gretches that were that way. A lot of Gretches just they were finicky, and you had to get them as good as you could. But the Sonor stuff is extremely accurate, even in the compressors, and even in like your AQ stuff. I've had really great success with getting really accurate measurements all the way around the drums. So, that's just another testament to the fact that Sonor is so adamant about building quality products completely across the spectrum. So you don't have to spend $2,000 on a snare drum to have a great snare drum that tunes up very accurately and performs very well. These things sound great. You got beech, brass, aluminum, and steel, and each one has a very distinctive sound. Personally, I like the brass. Um, but the steel's I've got a steel right now, and it's very bright and cutting. If you're trying to cut through a mix, uh, that steel is going to do it for you. If you like a dry sound, there's several options in the aluminum, right down to an 8, 14 by 8. So, it's a very versatile line of drums. And then, not to mention the beech, you've got a 13 and a 14-inch diameter beech. So if you like that SQ2 sound, you've basically got the heart of an SQ2, and that is a German built snare drum. So, all the way around on that, awesome. Can't wait to start getting some product reviews done. Uh, really, really lost my momentum there for a spell being sick, but it's time to come back with a vengeance, and that's about to happen. So I appreciate everybody that's hung in there through all this, and I appreciate everybody that subscribes. If you haven't, please do. It really helps the channel. And anyway, I guess I've rambled on enough for a Friday morning. I will be back with you real soon with something worth watching. Thank you.